You're often faced with a lot of questions about your Google Analytics implementation. The most common questions about Google Analytics implementation are, is Google Analytics tag even firing on a particular page, on a particular site? Are you tracking every single page? If you are not, then you are getting incomplete view of your data. Your referral report will be off, your bounce rate might be off. It can cause a lot of problems. Also, are you double tracking? If you are double tracking, this will lead to inflated count of page views, and you'll get normal then lower bounce rate. Are you sending the right information? For examples, are event sending the right information to Google Analytics? Are you passing the right values in e-commerce so you're getting accurate count of orders and revenue? To answer these questions and many other tag related questions, Tag Assistant from Google comes in handy. All you have to do is install Google Tag Assistant and browse over to any page that you have questions about, and it'll provide you a report on the tags on that page. Tag Assistant is a Chrome extension that automatically validates the implementation of Google tracking scripts on any given page. It currently works for Google Analytics, AdWord conversion tracking, AdWords remarketing, DoubleClick Floodlight, and Google Tag Manager. So let's take a look and see where you can get this Tag Assistant and how you can start to use it to validate your Google Analytics tags. Google Tag Assistant is a Chrome extension, as I mentioned before. That means it works with Chrome browser. So if you do not have Chrome browser, then please install Chrome browser before proceeding. Once you have the Chrome browser, browse over to Google or the Chrome Web Store, which you are seeing on your screen, and search for Tag Assistant. You can add it to Chrome by clicking here, or if you want more details, you can click on Tag Assistant by Google, and it'll provide you more detail about what this is. If you do a direct search on Google for Tag Assistant, you will land here. Once here, click on Add to Chrome. Go ahead and click Add Extension. Once it's added, you'll see a message that tells you that it has been added. In your Chrome browser, you will see an icon like this, which is Tag Assistant by Google. The way it works is you browse over to a website and then click on the Tag Assistant. The first time you click on the Tag Assistant, it'll give you options on which tags to check. By default, all these tags are selected. There are a few more. If you go into more options, then you will be able to select a lot more tags. For our example, I am going to uncheck everything else except Google Analytics because that's what we're checking here, just Google Analytics. However, if you have any of the other tags, you should select them as well. Once done, click on Done. Next step you have to do is you have to click Enable to enable the Tag Assistant. Because even though you have set it up, it's still in an inactive state. So click on Enable. Now it's enabled. You also have an option to record what tags are being fired as you go through the site. This allows you to view in-depth analysis of your tags. So go ahead and click on Record. The next screen just tells you that the recording is in place and is recording the current tab. If you want to record as user opens different tabs, clicks on links that open different tabs, then you will have to check this box and say follow recording links across tabs. Other thing it's telling you is that to record the current page, you have to refresh it. Because currently the settings are there, but the recording will only happen when a page gets refreshed. So let's go ahead and refresh the page. Now your Tag Assistant is collecting the data and analyzing the tags. The Tag Assistant will change the color based on the information it collects. Green indicates that everything looks good and there are no problems with the implementation. Blue indicates that there are no major or minor issues, but the tag can still be improved. It's not a perfectly valid tag because of non-standard implementation or some other issues. Yellow indicates that there are minor issues which you should fix as soon as possible, and red indicates that there are major issues that need to be fixed immediately. There is also a number inside the Tag Assistant logo on your browser bar. That number indicates the number of tags found on the page. The same color scheme applies to the indicators inside the tag detail report, which we will look at next. Click on the Tag Assistant icon on your browser to open up a window that will show you what tags are firing on this page and what their status is. This window shows you there are 4 tags in total. 1, 2, 3, and if you scroll down, you can see the 4th one. So 4 tags, 3 Google Analytics and 1 tag manager. Next to each tag is the color coding that tells you the status. Green, as you remember, is all good. Blue means it's all good but can be improved. And then it shows you where to optimize. What are the opportunities for you to optimize the tags on this page? It says multiple Google Analytics tags detected. If you click on this question mark, then it'll give you the details from Google Help to show you what's going on and how can you fix this issue. Let's go back and open that window again. Clicking on each of these tags will give you more details about what's being collected and what the issues are. So let's go ahead and click on the green one, Google Analytics. It shows you the property ID, the version, the code snippet, what's getting passed, and then what cookies are being used. Also, what kind of activity is being tracked. As you can see, it's a page view request. Click on this arrow to go back and this arrow to go back. Now let's look at the one with the blue tag. You get the same information here. There's a page view request and events request. The reason it is blue is because it's a non-standard implementation. That's the message we saw on the main page. Clicking on events shows you what's being passed to this event. It's passing the category value as all, action as viewed Global Analytics Academy page, value 0, non-interaction hit, and what's the title. I'm assuming you're already familiar with event tracking in Google Analytics. If not, I suggest you read about it so that you know how the events get tracked. And as a result of this tracking, there is a URL that gets called on Google Analytics, so you can see what that call looks like by clicking here. Go back and back. Similarly, now let's look at the Google Tag Manager blue code. So click on it and it gives you a message, GTM no script code not found, either missing or not in the body. That's something you can take immediate action on and fix. You can also see the values of the data layer and again the URL that's being called. If you go back to metadata, you will see there is a button to do check contain tags. What this means is by pressing this, you're going to recheck the Google tag code to see if issues were fixed or not. If you fix the issue, click this and this message should go away. Go back. So this is in a nutshell what you will see in your Google Tag Assistant. It'll give you details about every tag that you want to track and what issues to fix. Let's talk about a few more options here. You have reverse step, which shows you the ignored tags. If there are any tags that have been ignored on this window, by toggling this, you will be able to see those tags. Untoggling will leave the ignored tags hidden. Next option is a star, which adds the domain that you're checking to the favorite list. This saves you time. As you have seen, you need to click on Enable button to enable Google Tag Assistant on a particular site. By adding a site to favorite, you bypass that step. Anything that you add to favorite will automatically have Google Tag Assistant enabled. If you check a particular domain, a site quite frequently, you can click on this button and Google Tag Assistant will be enabled for it. Clicking on this wheel will open the options for your Google Tag Assistant. This will open up in a new tab and you can set all your options there. So let's go ahead and click on it, and here are the options. We just added Global Analytics Academy to favorites, as you saw by clicking on that star. Other options that you can set, these are the same options that you got when you first opened Google Tag Assistant. You can change your settings right here. And then you have what level of detail you want for different kind of tags. You can set those up right here and allow extension checking. This is an option that we haven't looked at yet. You are giving Tag Assistant permission to check your browser extension and flag them if they are blocking any tags. So if you want to do that, go ahead and allow it. If you do not want Tag Assistant to check any other extensions, then leave it as it is. My recommendation is to allow it, unless you have some specific organization policy not to do so. So go ahead and click on allow and allow. Now we're done with the options for Tag Assistant. Now let's go back to the Tag Assistant and look at the recording. Every time you go back, you have to click on this Tag Assistant to open it. Now let's look at the view recordings to see what recordings have been saved. Your current recording, 1 page, 4 tags. You can either see the full report or you can end recording at this point. Remember this option, we checked it earlier, follow recording links across tabs. So that's selected. Let's click on show full report. And here's some information about what you will see in this report. There are 2 reports you can see. Tag Assistant report and Google Analytics report. The Tag Assistant report shows you all the tags, including Google tags as well as third-party non-Google tags that fired on all pages. The Google Analytics report shows how your recording data would look when processed by your current Google Analytics configuration. Pretty useful. So here you have it. Tag Assistant report, we noticed 3 Google Analytics accounts, what pages were recorded, what were the issues. You can click on the arrow button next to the tag to see the issue with that tag and what's being passed. This is the same information we were looking in the Tag Assistant, but now it's a report that you can look at. And then go to Google Analytics report, and it'll give you which view you want to look at, and click OK. And it gives you details on how this will look in your Google Analytics. What browser was used, what source medium, behavior, event, conversion, etc. So pretty detailed report that you should use to figure out if your tags are working properly or not. One feature I want to highlight here is this update report. When you make changes to your tags based on the information you're getting here, you do not have to leave this page and re-record everything. You can just click on update report and your report will be updated with the new tag information. There are a few other options here that I want to highlight. One is you can change the view that you're looking at to see the detailed reports of that view. You can change the location where this report is generated from. By clicking on this, opens up option. So using this, you can simulate if your traffic is coming from another location or another IP address. You can also save this report and then open it up in future. Using these options, you can quickly jump into this report into a specific section, page loads, page hits, event hit, other hits, for example. So you can jump into this report and it expands to show you what data is being sent and how everything is collected. So you can run this on all your pages on a specific page to see how each tag is firing, what kind of information it's sending. Recording summary, any alerts that you have, and then the summary section. You can also look at the flow to see how user is going from one page to another. So Google Tag Assistant is a very useful tool. I recommend using it periodically. Whenever a new change goes to your site, whenever you implement a new tag, make sure to look at Tag Assistant and identify any issues and fix them.